Hello, good morning. Welcome to Gaming Insight Daily for Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your sometimes daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have coffee in my Minions mug today. Today was going to be potentially a twofer because I'll probably be doing two reactions to two things happening today because we're about to watch the Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct. It's 45 minutes of Kirby Air Riders. I have no idea how they're going to be able to cram, do they have enough to be able to fill 45 minutes of just Kirby Air Riders? It is Sakurai, so I'm willing to be convinced. Here's the thing. I am not necessarily a Smash fan. I could never really play Smash Brothers. Like, I literally couldn't, mostly for accessibility, but it's just like I've tried from the N64 all the way up to the Switch. I can't play it, and so and I know that Sakurai is well beloved, but I have yet to be convinced that I could be able to play any of his games. So with that being said, I want to see what he has up his sleeve for Kirby Air Riders, and we're probably going to get super technical. We may not even get to watch the full 45 minutes before I'm just bored out of my mind. I don't know. I'm going in this with as open of a mind as I possibly can, okay? So let's jump into it. I have no expectations other than just we'll see what's going to happen. So here we go. I have it queued up pretty much. I'm about 10 minutes behind. So we can skip ahead if need be. So this pretty much is the recap of the original trailer. Okay, it's very Japanese encoded, of course. Kirby Air Ride. Okay, I got it wrong. I was sorry. It was Air Riders. Oh, Nintendo, why do you mess with my head? Here we go. Oh dear, why is making a game so hard? Anyway, let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, I am Mashiro okay, hold on, let me put that back because it's Mashiro Sakurai. Over 20 years since the previous game, Kirby Air Ride, launched on Nintendo GameCube, comes Kirby Air Riders. First, I'll begin with the question of why we called this game Kirby Air Riders. Let's find out. It's because you can now choose your rider. Rider collection. Okay, I'm reading this out. I know this is like this is mostly for the anyone who's blind who's watching this. So we're trying to be able to give as much context as I can. Kirby, a light and floaty friend to all. This well-balanced hero has no clear weaknesses. So what? Okay, King Dedede, sorry, heavyweight rider who rules the runway, hits hard with his powerful hammer. Meta Knight is here. A shadowy defender who slashes rivals with a sword and slices through the air on dark wings. Bandana Waddle Dee, a sturdy rider who boosts charge quickly. His stretchy spear stings rivals like a hornet. Okay. Chief Kawasaki, a culinary genius who always has a ladle handy, recovers an extra amount from food items. Okay. Even though there were two other characters in the previous game, Kirby was basically your only rider. Kirby could ride on various machines in that game. This time around, you can also have fun with each character's unique traits. How we got here. You might be wondering why I ended up creating a new Kirby Air Ride game. Actually, yeah. There was a strong request from Mr. Takahashi, head of software development at Nintendo, and Mr. Mitsushira, the president of PAL Laboratory Inc. at the time. At the time, I was working on the DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and wasn't really able to get around to the request, but I managed to complete a written proposal at high speed. I actually mentioned this on my YouTube channel, so I hope you check that video out. Yes, he did have his own YouTube channel. The developer of the game is Bandai Namco Studios, not HAL Laboratory Inc. Oh, interesting. It's Bandai Namco. My company, Sora Limited, and Bandai Namco Studios are the same tag team. So that worked on. Oh, that worked on Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, let's move on to the main topic. Overview. What is Kirby Air Ride? The original was widely viewed as a racing game featuring Kirby. You might be asking yourself if it's basically Mario Kart. I actually am, yeah. You race and battle with various familiar characters around courses with different features, or so they say. Okay, so it basically is like Mario Kart. Okay, I even mentioned this when I received the request to make the game. I asked them if they still wanted to do it. But as fans of the original know, the appeal of the game is actually not the races. Anyway, I'm going to show the first look at gameplay. Here it is. Okay. Oh my goodness. That was a fast start. It looks actually much faster than Mario Kart, that's for sure. It's really what been made. From this point on, I'll go into more details. How to ride. Here, I'll go over the basics of riding on the machines. This part is important, so please pay attention. There are air ride machines, or machines for short, and they have different forms and traits. The characters who ride them are not called drivers, they're known as riders. This is the nerdy shit that Sakurai is known for. Like, he goes super into the details, and that's what he does. That's why his directs are 45 minutes long, because we know it's not carts, they're machines. It's not drivers, they're riders. And thanks, Sakurai. We absolutely truly needed this PowerPoint presentation of rider goes on to machine. It's ridiculous. The machines usually float a little above the ground like they're hovering. Okay, yeah. They also move forward automatically. Ooh, wait a second. Hold on. That might be a potential accessibility thing. If it moves forward automatically, and you don't have to push down on a trigger button in order to be able to, or a button to be able to push to move forward, to accelerate. That's interesting. Well, I don't know. It's the move forward automatically. That's the thing. Let me see if there's more. So there's no need to press any button to accelerate. Okay, yeah. That's actually pretty good for accessibility right there. You don't have to push and hold a button. That can hurt, you know, for anyone with nerve damage, or it won't. Oh, okay. I like this so far. All right, Sakurai, continue, please. You need to tilt the left. You don't need to tilt the left stick forward either. So please be mindful of that. You don't have to use the thumbstick to push forward. Okay, I love this. As you're racing forward, you can change direction by using the stick left and right. You can use one button for the controls. This is called a boost charge. When you press the button, the machine hits the ground. And you'll hits the ground, and you'll start a boost charge and then brake. Simultaneously, if you hold down the button, you'll start charging up. But if you're just racing forward, there's really not much use in pressing the button. If you come across a sharp corner and tilt the stick all the way to the side while pressing the button to start drifting and sliding along the ground. Okay, so that's basically it is your drift button. It is technically a brake, but it is also basically your drift button. I mean, actually, well, no, if you're moving forward, then there's no need to be able to push down the B button. So yeah, basically it's your drift button. So that's all you need to do. Left and right and drift button. Okay, so there's got to be obviously a button to be able to use your weapon. So we're probably going to learn about that. It's important to keep boosting. Build your charge, then when you exit the curve, let loose. By reportedly charging through drifts, you can move forward really fast. Those are the basics. By repeatedly charging through the drifts. Okay. To recap, when racing forward, you don't need to press the button or tilt the stick. You just need to tilt the stick left and right and use the button to grind. Also, most of the machines can glide. There aren't any specific flying areas. If you jump from a ramp, you'll fly through the air like a glider. Tilt the stick towards you, in other words, all the way down, and the machine's nose will rise, making you fly upward. By tilting the stick up, the nose will point toward the ground, and you'll descend. So when you're racing normally, don't continue to tilt the stick forward. That's why. Okay, because you're basically that's your flying mechanic. Okay. Otherwise, you'll suddenly fall off the ramps. When you're landing, to try to do gracefully and be parallel with the ground. Okay. If you land perfectly, you get an extra burst of speed. Whether you're steering or flying, it's important that you use the controls carefully. Okay, so it is a little bit more complex than just a basic left and right and drift. You do have to be a little bit more precise with your controls, which is fine. It's fine. I mean, here's the thing though, is that again, the less controls you have in the game, the more accessible it can be, because technically there's not that many hand movements that you need to be able to do. So for those with motor disabilities, yes, using the thumbstick is fine, but only having to be able to push one button as well is great. It definitely, again, it makes this on par with why Pokemon is also accessible, because you could generally play that game with one hand. Now in this, obviously you're not going to be able to play this game with one hand, but by doing so, limiting the amount of controls that is used really can help those with the motor disabilities. Again, this is not designed for accessibility of mine, but it is something that I think should be pointed out as it definitely is going to benefit for sure. Whether you're steering or flying, it's important that you use the controls carefully. Yep. And special. Okay, so it's probably going to be a special button. In the previous game, you used a single button for everything. But this time, we've added a second button. Unfortunately, this is to expand the game's depth. To contrast to the boost charge button, which propels the machine forward, we're calling this the special button, which is basically your Y button. Below the boost charge gauge is the special gauge. Press the special button once the gauge is full, and you'll unleash a special move. Okay. Each rider has a different one. Some specials increase your speed, while others unleash attacks. Okay, so this is basically like he's translating his knowledge of Super Smash Bros. Into kart racing. Because there is a special move that you can be able to do in Super Smash Bros. But now he gets to add that. It's okay. Okay. Now we see why Sakurai was definitely excited to play to do this one. Some specials increase your speed, while others unleash attacks. You get the special collection. With Kirby, you have the Ultra Sword. Unleash a series of slashes with your giant blade. Jet Hammer. Activate the jet engine hidden in your hammer and rocket forward. Spread Nightwing. Spread your dark wings and fly forward at incredible speed. Spear Cyclone. Twirl your spear in front of you as a shield or above you as a propeller. Super Spicy Cooking. Serve spicy curries all around you to make rivals spew flames. I like that. Booster Cap, the mushroom cap propulsion to rush you ahead in a steady burst. That's Mario Kart encoded. Burn, burst into flames and charge straight ahead as a fireball. Snowball, turn you into a snowball, then grow larger and faster as you roll ahead. Cool. Oh, okay. Only Kirby has 4 specials. And you can choose your special by selecting from Kirby's different color options. I mean, Kirby is the main character after all. You might have also spotted Cappy making Cappy is here. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah. The mushroom cap doubles as a protective cushion, race ahead of rivals before it falls apart. Oh, the special button has another important function, but we'll get to that later. Lessons. Oh boy. You can learn about the different racing techniques, including the ones I just went over, in lessons. Before you start racing, it'd be a good idea to try them out. Once you've completed all the lessons, you can master all the techniques in the game. This is also good for accessibility, because when you have training mode, it allows us to be able to disable players to be able to figure out the best controls that work best for them, to be able to, but still be able to complete what the requirements are for the controls for the actual game itself. Once you complete all the lessons, you can master all the techniques in the game. And talk about machines. So each machine performs differently. You got a machine collection. We got a Warp Star. Both drives and glides perfectly well. An easy ride with no clear weaknesses. We got Winged Star. Slow and ground-bound, but soars gracefully whenever it takes flight. Wagon Star. Can't boost charge, but makes up for it with higher performance in other categories. Then you got Wheelie Bike. Races ahead on a single wheel, an interesting design compared to Star type machines. Shadow Star. Attacks cause major damage even on a single hit, soars on sleek and shadowy wings while airborne. Paper Star. Light as paper with impressive flight capabilities, fragile but offers excellent acceleration. It's not just about basic stats like speed or how well the machine can turn, the behavior also changes. Bulk Star. Plow forward on burst charges, has an extra tough frame that's hard to damage. Okay. Okay, so you're adding an engine to it. Swerve Star. Ride it forward, then stop it suddenly. Ride, then stop. Ride, stop, ride, stop. You'll come to a hard stop if you can boost charge and turn, then speed off. Oh, okay. In the previous game, there were two types of machine start types, but we're adding some new types here. Chariot. Ooh, that looks cool. A safe, stable ride thanks to its two-wheel design, turns sharp corners with a reliable agility. Kind of reminds me of a wheelchair, but I'm not going to mention anything about a wheelchair because Nintendo doesn't know how to be able to do anything about a wheelchair. That's why they call it a chariot. Still mad. Tank Star. Rushes forward on boost dashes. Boost charges help it tackle turns at a rapid pace. It also has high durability. Funnily enough, the machines also have their own traits. It's part of the game's charm. So this is a lot more in depth than Mario Kart, that's for dang sure. Additionally, depending on the in-game rules, machines can end up half broken. When that happens, they actually get a speed boost. This can also help you get out of a tough spot. In the previous game, while you could play as Meta Knight and King DDD, you couldn't choose their machines. Here you have the freedom to change their machines. Good for them. There are other riders too. Okay. All right. Magalore. A sly spellcaster, accelerates a lot with air star slides. Attack rivals ahead of you with perfect landings. Gooey. An odd creature of mysterious origin, makes skillful use of his long, wiggly tongue. Oh my goodness. Waddle Doo. Keeps an eye on their nearby rivals and hits them with a pepper-powered arc of optic blasts. Knuckle Joe. A fierce fighter who jabs at riders that come too close. Charge up fully for a flurry of punches. Susie. A smug, shiny entrepreneur deploys a propeller to take off and float gently through the air. Depending on their weight, each rider will have an impact on the machine's performance. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a lot. This is definitely not Mario Kart. Because there's a lot more you have to kind of keep in mind as far as when you're choosing your rider and your machine. So they track top speed, boost, charge, turn, grip, lift, flight speed, attack, max HP, weight. Wow. So yeah, this is very much a Smash Bros, but in a kart racing. Gets smaller if Kirby rides it, and bigger if it's King DDD. How curious that the size of the machines changes. So as you can imagine, Kirby has better boost and can turn faster. While King DDD has increased top speed, attack power, and durability. But the racing performance isn't the only thing that changes. For example, King DDD and Meta Knight can also perform close-range attacks. Just get close to an enemy and they'll automatically... Oh, wait. Then they'll automatically strike. Ooh. But just get to... yeah. Cappy's hat works as a shield and can withstand some attacks. The machines are very intricate when it comes to... Oh, wow, they're very fast at this. The machines are very intricate when it comes to their stats. Oops. So it's a good idea to select a rider that complements each one. Of course, you want to consider the courses and rules as well. That's why in air ride mode, you'll select the course first, then the machine and rider. But if you can select your rider, you might be wondering, isn't Kirby the only one who can use copy abilities? This game is in the Kirby series, which means Kirby can obtain different copy abilities from enemies. That skill is unique too. Well, but that would be create an advantage over the others and also create too much of a gap in the fun. So here we made it so that other riders can also use copy abilities. All riders can have copycats or copy hats. Wait, you went that far? Yes, we did. The copy ability. Okay. Press the boost charge button to release a fireball. Slash automatically at nearby enemies and rivals. That actually is a very good thing also for accessibility. So you don't have to. So now, I love this. What I assumed there was gonna have to be an attack button. There isn't. It's an automatic once you get close to an enemy. That's not bad. I like this. I like this a lot. Hold and release the boost charge button to throw the bomb. Turn to a bike type machine and get rolling. Show off your singing skills and a wide-reaching attack. Press the boost charge button to throw a razor-sharp blade. Blast off with powerful engines. Become a massive indestructible force. See, this is the kind of thing that Mario Kart should have evolved into. I get that they tried to be able to you keep it as simple as and kind of as the same as previous Mario Karts. But I think for a lot of players who wanted just to be able to really dive deep, if Nintendo improved Mario Kart by doing this stuff, this would have made Mario Kart a huge hit. I mean, it already was a hit, but this is I think almost in a way kind of insulting to Mario Kart. By the way, the plasma copy ability no longer requires you to flick the stick to charge it up. It now charges automatically. You'll boost to unleash it. See, again, having things automatic, it's just great. Copy abilities aren't just for attacking either. There are ones that also increase your speed. To catch enemies with copy abilities, boost charge when they're directly in front of you. It's using the same freaking button. So there's only if they end this thing with the fact that you only have to push 2 buttons and using the joystick, I'd be a very happy person. In other words, press the button. Kirby will inhale them, but the other riders can catch them with a move called capture. For example, Chef Kawasaki can capture enemies with a ladle. Some riders have unique ways to capture enemies. If you capture an enemy without a copy ability, you'll launch it as a star-shaped projectile. Okay. Also, when you defeat an enemy wandering through a course, you'll get small stars and accelerate. It's more beneficial to defeat enemies. You'll want to launch star-shaped projectiles from captured enemies. Use copy abilities and so on to defeat enemies. And depending on the rules, some of the riders might even wander around by themselves. Here we casually reveal a newly added character, Starman. Excels at airborne maneuvers, jump for a burst of speed, and soar right over your rivals. Wow. Let me take the opportunity to say this. I hope more people realize how cute Starman is. Air Ride. First, let me explain Air Ride mode, or in other words, races. Riders and machines bursting with personality will compete to cross the finish line first. Each race is limited to a maximum of 6 riders. Okay, that actually is not bad. Yes, it limits the amount of players you can be able to play, but whereas Mario Kart went up to 24, which I think it needed it for to be able to kind of move forward with the Mario Kart franchise. Keeping it to 6 definitely does help. I think it also it in a way is the same as kind of like a Smash Bros, where you have a limited amount of players. It's not just an overall like again, adding more will help. It basically the keeping it to 6 works, I think. Technically, we could have added more participants, but we kept the pool small. I think that 6 is the right balance to be able to better compete for first place. After all, too many participants in this game can make it messy, and your chances of winning can shrink. Yep. For now, let's try doing just 1 lap. There's a lot of action that will happen, so I suggest moving away from the screen a bit, or making it smaller. I like that he cares about that. Like, if you're super close, hey, there's gonna be a lot of effects happening. Step aside. Now, that could be a potential problem for those who are photosensitive. So this also was a big problem with Smash Bros. But hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Race on an ocean course called Wave Flow Waters. Ocean courses in racing games with familiar characters tend to have blue oceans, white beaches, music with Latin American themes, or are styled like relaxing resorts. But in Kirby Air Riders, it's not that calm. Please take a look. Okay, I'm going to try the ocean course. The sea is suddenly parting. Now this is incredible. What do you think is happening? So is what I asked, but now it's okay. I'm not going to try to read the subtitles for this. I'm just going to watch the gameplay because it's hard for me to do that. Okay. So far, there's not that many like full screen effect. A lot of camera shake. A lot of potential motion blur. Wow, this is actually pretty intense. But not as intense as Mario Kart, or sorry, not Mario Kart, but Smash Bros. The biggest problem with Smash Bros was being able to see your opponents at any on screen at the same time. It's hard to be able to tell who is who. Whereas this, I like that even when it's further up ahead, you can be able to see the player number and an arrow above their head, or even just their icon. Oh, there's actually secret shortcuts. That's cool. Okay. Yes, definitely a lot of full screen effects, which again, I don't fault necessarily Sakurai for, because it is pretty much it is in Smash Bros. He's even impressed how the game feels at that point. Okay. Okay. I'm cautiously optimistic on this one. The course feels dense, and along with the music, I think it's designed really well. There isn't a whole lot of repetition, and as you race through the course, you'll find new things. Oh, we're taking a look at the courses now. So you got Floria fields, a grassy field blooming with flowers. Feel the gentle breeze as you ride through. I guess it looks like kind of like your mushroom cup from Mario Kart. Then you got cavernous corners. Caper around caves deep within a jungle. Treasure awaits those brave enough to reach its depths. Ooh, I like this. This looks cool. Siberian Highway. Oh boy. Piercing lasers, collapsing platforms, anything can happen in this digital cyberspace. Oh my goodness. Okay, I like the contrast on the track. I know that's probably going to change, but interesting. Mount Amber Falls. A scenic sunset ride down a mountain. Enjoy the views of a snowy peak and a twilight beach. I really like the look of this. This, honestly, all right, dare to say, is this going to be better than Mario Kart? I don't know. I'd like to introduce a couple that are vital to helping you win. First, Star Slide. Each machine scatters stars during a race, and if you collect these stars, you'll speed up. Interesting. So basically, if you, it gives you. Oh my God, they did F1 DRS mode. They literally just did DRS. Oh my God, DRS enabled. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, they did it. They went there. They totally went there. If you don't know F1 DRS, it's basically when you get in behind. Like I know I'm oversimplifying it. And if I get things wrong, I apologize. But essentially, when you get in behind a car, the momentum of, or at least the air breeze of the. I don't know if it's all physics based, but basically when you're in behind a car, it basically it gives you enough of a speed boost so you can be able to actually kind of go past them, because DRS is anyway. They kind of added their own version of this, where you basically you're riding behind a rider, you basically get enough stars and you can be able to boost up to be able to overtake them. You want to stay on the racing lines their rivals are using. Wow. Then you attack rivals and enemies on the course. Get the little stars that appear when you hit opponents, and you'll get a speed boost. In other words, these stars act. Okay, sorry. While it's game lets you attack in different ways, getting in the way of other machines or slowing them down isn't the main focus. The impact when you take damage is also minor. In this game, you'll compete by getting speed boosts via staying on your rivals' tails and attacking. And now here's what happens when you cross the finish line. If you're playing online and not with friends, you can jump into another session right after you complete a race. You don't have to wait for others to finish the race, so you can keep playing. Machine. Turbo Star, or adding more machines. Boosts impressive speed, but proves stubborn and slow when it comes to steering. Slick Star. Slippery and tricky to control, but offers a wholly unique approach to riding. This might be better than Mario Kart, y'all. Rocket Star. Dashes forward with superior acceleration on a maxed out boost charge. Wow. Rex Wheelie. An intimidating sturdy cycle. If it can maintain top speed, it'll roll its way to victory. Battle Chariot. A heavyweight hunk of a machine that tears up the road and can send enemies flying. So basically, you have different versions of these or of these machines. Light, medium, and heavy. Whoa, wait, hold on. We got to look at some settings here. You can adjust the in-game rules, such as the number of laps. Okay, so game tempo, slow, normal, versus format, normal, number of riders 6, rules, laps. You can also slow down the game speed. Sakurai, you are still a genius. Fuck yes. You can fucking slow down game speed. This is ideal for new players. The game's average cruising speed is a little higher than the previous game. And so if you feel like it's too much, try slowing it down. Oh, that's great. That's great. I love this. Also in air ride mode, you generally can't destroy. You generally can't destroy other machines, but you can enable that option in the settings. Okay, cool. So if you just want a straight racing game, you can and not attack. You can basically you can. I like that. Okay, that's cool. City Trial. Now let's jump into City Trial. This is the main event. Imagine fans of Kirby Air Ride were waiting for this. In the previous game, City Trial took place on a map with a given amount of space. Here it's still a sandbox, but oh my god, it's open world. This time, it's set on a floating island. Welcome to Sky. It's the only City Trial map. Some players people will probably spend a lot of time here. As a sandbox, Sky doesn't have borders, but it has different areas contained within. They created their own open world. This is going to be better than Mario Kart. They're literally almost like making what Mario Kart world is doing, but better. Oh my god. We got the urban district, got grass district. Plaza. Now, if they have more in the open world than Mario Kart World, then this is going to be the better kart game, hands down. Get a subway station? That's dope. You got a forest. Coliseum. Okay, if they have anything that's basically like where you get to do stuff in here. I know that City Trial like had a thing, but this has got it. This, if they do anything that's better just driving around Mario Kart, it's gonna be so much better than Mario Kart World. Here's an overview of how City Trial works. You'll freely drive around Skya. Swap to empty machines you find. You can change cards and collect power-ups scattered throughout. The time limit is 5 minutes. After that, you'll head to stadiums. You'll take your powered-up machine to one of the stadiums, each with their own features, and compete to win. Oh my god. That's the gist of it, but first a note about multiplayer. In the previous game, up to 4 could play in split screen. But now, oh boy, up to 16 can play City Trial together. So not full 24, but hey, of course the game supports online. Supports online play. Local wireless only supports up to 8 players. Okay, that's fine. However, you can add computer-generated players to build the total up to 16. Since there are more participants, the map is also bigger than last time. And despite there being more participants, it's also fun to play solo. So it might be good to experiment and add the number of computer-generated control players you want. Oh boy, yeah, this is better. Gonna be better than Mario Kart, I think. Now I'll briefly talk about fighting on Skya with a 5-minute time limit, as well as the general flow. First, you'll select a rider, but you can't select your machine. Instead, you'll start with a small machine, the Compact Star. It's easy to handle, but it's weak. Once you begin, try to find another machine to swap it to it as fast as you can. This is great! A machine that's unoccupied is known as an empty machine. But one important note. I mentioned earlier that there's this new button. If you press a special button while facing an empty machine, you can jump straight from one machine to another without fully dismounting. If you're on a Compact Star on your machine your machine is about to break, you can swap machines by simply bumping into an empty one. In the previous game, you always had to dismount your machine. Ah, we've come a long way since then, huh? I didn't realize that was part of it. I was like, why are you talking about dismounting? That being said, you can dismount your machine by pressing and holding pressing and holding down the special button. Okay, so there is a bit of a hold thing for it, but not here's to you. You can steal an opponent's machine if theirs is about to break. Next, start finding power-ups. Oh, cool. There are all sorts of power-ups. What I love about this, yes, there are color, but all of these are icons and symbols. So basically, anyone with who's colorblind can be able to see what each of these are. That's a nice design touch. Good design. Increase your boost, top speed, turn, glide, offense, defense, and so on. This also, by the way, looks really good for low vision too. Like there is a lot here. Like there's contrast for the time at the top. The gate or your speed gauge on the bottom looks pretty good. Again, it's like even the power-up icons are huge, and they stay huge. That's cool. Once you find a box, you use moves like quick spin to break it. The quick spin is basically it's a stake shift. Okay, not necessarily a fan of that. That's the only inaccessible thing I think I've seen. Activate rapidly moving the stick. You can also use special attack items to go after opponents and steal the power-ups they drop. All right, that's probably that's the main. It'd be great if you didn't have to shake the stick. If your machine breaks, you can still run and jump with your rider. However, you should find an empty machine and grab it as soon as you can. In different areas across Sky, you'll swap out machines and collect power-ups to get stronger. Various events also occur throughout. You might get thrown for a loop. Whoa! Or suddenly get tons of power-ups. Oh boy. I'll introduce some new events that stand out in particular. Short race and dust up dirty. A short race is underway. Hurry to reception. A starting area will appear somewhere on the map. Make sure to hustle over there. Okay, I like the large interface that they're going with this. This is great. This is awesome. Of course, not participating in an event is also a strategy. If you get there early, you can keep collecting power-ups until it starts. In short race, those who enter the starting area will begin a race through the city within a sectioned off area of the map. From an outsider's perspective, all short race participants appear as ghosts. And they won't be the race. Once the race is complete, participants will obtain power-ups depending on their ranking. In Dust Up Derby, those who enter the starting area will battle each other. This is better than Mario Kart, man. Like, look, they've added so much in just a little open world that they've got. Yeah, the map isn't as big as Mario Kart World, but who gives a crap? This actually gives you something to do. Wow. Obviously, those eraser battle stats have a higher degree of freedom, but they have low durability, so be careful. Even if you're at a disadvantage, it might be good to power up by participating. If you're knocked out and Dust Up Dirty, you'll be out of the running, but your machine won't be destroyed. Your durability will recover, and you can resume exploring Skya. Love that touch. You can earn power up rewards here too. So even if you don't do well, I think it's still worth to participate. Cool. Probably. There are also events where bosses will appear, like Karako, for example. Dynablade also returns from the previous game. I didn't even know this was in the previous game. City Trial Field Event. The mysterious bird Dynablade swooping in. Danger, meteors incoming. Oh boy. Yes, there is a lot happening on screen. I will give it that. That's also another thing for accessibility that I'm not necessarily a big fan of, but it's fine. A secret room opened. Oh, that's what happens when you get to the when you beat a boss. Huge unidentified pillars appeared, or maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I'm confusing them. Items become gigantic. I like that. I'll be okay with that. Krakos thundered on the scene. Rush to the portals. Hurry, hurry. By the way, it's not a good idea to just blindly collect as many power-ups as you can. Depending on the stadium type, there are instances where you still want to be able to easily handle your machine. So try to make sure that your machine and collected power-ups match whatever goal you have in mind. If you prioritize increasing your top speed, the decrease in weight can lower your defense as a result. So opposite forces can jump into play. So, as you're busy zooming around Skya, the 5 minutes will quickly fly by. Then while you're confirming your machine's stats, riders are sent to the stadium. Your machine might be really fast, unmatched in the air, powerful in battles, or skilled with tight turns, for example. Make sure to take a close look at the stats of your completed machine. Wow. This is so super in-depth. Now I'll introduce some of the stadiums where the winner is decided. Okay. Okay. I'm getting convinced. I'm getting convinced. Kirby Melee. Defeat as many foes as you can. Okay. Air glider. Launch off the jump ramp and fly as you can. Fly as far as you can. Launch of. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. Drag race. Right straight ahead as fast as you can. Oh, that's cool. Now I understand why they said it's you don't want to collect a whole bunch of stuff for one thing. Target flight. Yeah, they showed this. Had the score panels and earn points to match. Cool. Oh, let's go. Okay. with the score panels. Oh yeah, sorry. Dust up derby. So they already showed that. Defeat as many rivals as you can within the time limit. There is a lot. Okay. So yes, there is a lot happening on screen. There's a lot of flashing effects. So I would say those who are photosensitive probably also should avoid this. I probably might actually have an issue with this too, because I did have this issue with previous Smash Bros games. The only difference with this is that I can actually still be able to see my character. In Smash Bros, whenever there's a lot of effects happening on screen, I would lose sight of where my character is because the camera would zoom in and out. So with this makes it almost a little bit more accessible, even with the flashing effects, because I can actually be able to see my character at all times in the center of the screen. Yes, there's a lot happening, there's a lot going on, and I probably will complain about. Not complain. I probably will have issues or have trouble or find it challenging in order to be able to see other opponents as everything is happening all at once. So that is definitely a major accessibility concern. So I'm not saying I'm really liking how all of this looks and then not calling out the inaccessibility of this too. Flashing effects should full screen flashing effects should be honestly banned in video games because it's just. I know people are gonna be like, well, it's only the smallest percentage of people. Here's the thing about photosensitivity and seizures: you never know you might be prone to epilepsy until you get it. That's the scary thing. You never know when you get you never know you're gonna get a seizure until you get it. It can happen at any given point. Not to scare anybody with it, but if you're prone to epilepsy and you don't know it, it could happen at any given moment, and you never know what's gonna trigger it. That's the scary part. So that's why it's important to be able to not have flashing effects on full screen flashing effects. Not just for those who are already photosensitive. It's for those who potentially could. That's why there are illegal warnings in front of the games. You may think, oh, that's enough, but a lot of games have that. But you could negate all of that without having flashing effects. This is a full screen flashing effect so far, just within this freeze frame that I paused on. So just saying, you got skydive. Oh, cool. Actually, this is kind of a neat mode. Gourmet race. Gobble up as much of the feast as you can. Okay. See, even with all of these special kind of effects, again, it still is easier for me to be able to see my character. Phew, there are a lot of different competitions. Naturally, the machine you created will have its advantages and disadvantages. Stadiums are usually chosen at random from a large pool. If there are 60 participants, your chances of winning are only 1 in 16. Some video games have 100 players competing with each other. So maybe it's not something I need to worry about, but having a low chance of winning is tough. Also, I wouldn't want players I also want players to not have a chance of winning with the machine they made. Because the stadiums are random. Is the ambiguity that makes it fun? Being light and vague on the details has its charms. Anyway, we came up with a way so that any machine can compete to some extent. So now, you can choose the stadium you want to compete in from the 4 that appear. Pick the one you like based on the factors you like your machine or the power-ups you obtained. We also made sure that the stadium options vary. Depending on how you built your machine, some stadiums will be recommended. So if you're having trouble making a decision, pick those ones. That's also great for accessibility too, knowing which ones would be better recommended. That's also good. All participants will choose from the same pool of the stadiums, or 4 stadiums. But you won't know who chose which stadium until the match starts. The mind games have already begun. If you're having a machine that excels at flying, then picking a flying-based stadium is one strategy. But if you see that opponent has an even better flying-based machine, another strategy is avoiding them by selecting a speed-based or obstacle field stadium. Of course, there's a third strategy where the opponent with the superior flying-based speed picks a speed-based stadium instead to catch others by surprise. This is quite fun indeed. Okay. Okay, let's do a solo run of City Trial against computer control players. I'll add 11 to computer control players and try a 12 player battle. There's always something different happening. So I hope we end up with something that looks good on camera. I'm going to focus on exploration and I'm off. Okay. All right, I know we're going to like the 49-minute mark of this. So I am probably going to skip ahead of this part. I mean, oh, actually, no, I'll watch a little bit of this to kind of see what it looks like, the gameplay. Okay, actually, it looks like you can be able to spin. Well, you still have to spin based by flipping the stick back and forth. Okay. Wait, I just heard a heartbeat. So it gives a little sound effect for each thing you pick up. Okay, not quite. Okay, I thought there might have been a yeah, there's not a sound effect for everything. It's just the heartbeat thing that went up. Okay. All right. Bummer. Wow, there is so much there. I love that. Oh geez, when you throw it, bam. Okay, wow. I blocked my own way. When you pass through areas like these, you can clearly see the sky as a floating island. Since we're here, let me introduce this grind rail. It connects stadiums together. Like, okay, and it goes around sky's borders. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I can get you around to different areas of Sky quickly. I don't know, is it Sky or Sky? I don't know. I'm at a disadvantage with the Wing Star, so I'll swap to a Wing Star. Or Wagon Star. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, a lot of effects. I'd be surprised at how well this performs, by the way. It's interesting though. Huh, okay. I wonder what these symbols are like, or the icons of your enemies there for. Like, what does the squares mean? I wonder. I learned a lot of rewards. Okay, cool. As a result, my speed has increased quite a bit. I wonder if you can. No, I guess probably you can't be able to do. I guess you can, yeah, I guess you probably can't be able to slow down game speed when you're in Gaskaya, so that may be an unfortunate thing. But then again, I mean, it's like if you just want to just race, you can just totally do that. I bumped into something above me, but let's ignore that. Okay, time's running out. I need to figure out what to do next. And by that I mean thinking about what kinds of stadiums will appear and which machines I should ride. Oh wow, look at that. I love that he's impressed with this. This game's so wild. I should explain one thing. I'm unleashing a special move right now. You can get up, in other words, you can hop off the machine. If you do, you can grab items at the same time. You boot it off your machine or your hop off. It's best to immediately swap to another. I decided on my next move. This time my glide stats are high, so I'm going to attempt something with flying. Okay. Let's see how this sort of random thing goes. Also, the music ends right on time. Glide is 13, boost is 12. Seems like I really should go for something with flying. The weight has also increased, so I got a boost in my defense as well. So I should be able to handle anything. While I should be fine, I got these 4 options. Maybe I should follow the recommendation. I'll go with target flight. Okay, so if you go solo, you can choose which one. Okay. This contains 2 rounds. The player with the highest total score wins. I'll aim for the 100-point target, which you got. Nice, that went well. As you can see, there's a shutter attached to the 100-point target. Depending on the shutter's timing, you might not be able to get to the points, even if you aim well. So be careful. Sure, see other players. On second thought, never mind. Oof. Well, the timing wasn't good, but that was close. That was really close. You can see Kirby's ambling along on the bottom of the screen. Okay, first place. Thank you. Knuckle Joe is riding on a combat star. If your machine is broken and you don't have a machine before entering the stadium, you revert to a compact star, so keep that in mind. Okay, so you do get to have the default. So this game is a lot of fun. Thanks, Sakurai. That's City Trial. By the way, there's a new item feature. Here's a new item feature. Items will get replaced if you pick up a new one, but you can also reverse one item and use and hang on to it. Huh. You can't reserve copy abilities since you will use them on the spot, but items can be stored in reverse and reserve and automatically appear once your current items up. However, it would be at the same capacity as it was before, so be mindful. So if you used up half of the item, so if you have the item, it'll turn half empty. If it's also empty, it's almost empty, it'll vanish without going into reserve. Regarding stadiums. This time the stadium there are instances where it's automatically selected for all players. This works just like the previous game where you don't get to choose the stadium. Sometimes alert will pop up before City Trial begins. At other times you might just end up all together. If there's an alert, everyone will bolt for the machines that have the advantage in that particular stadium. Yet another mind game. This guy, the prediction codex item on the announcements can hint at what the stadium will be. Oh, okay. Again, the layers of this. All right, you know what? I think I'm. It's almost near the end here. I think I'm going to kind of end it. Oh wait, actually, there is something here though. I did see something of a settings menu. So go ahead and play. What else? If there are fewer players, you can vote for which stadium. Ah, okay, here we go. So what's the settings menu here that we got? You can also make it random like in the previous game, so play around the rules. You can do stadium vote. Okay. Okay. Some of them have variations, even if they're the same type. Okay. There's also something that can keep you occupied for a long time. The City Trial mode, the mode beloved by fans for many years, is back again in Kirby Air Riders. Even though we're now in the 2020s, I hope you're looking forward to it. Main theme. Okay, so we're gonna We're gonna skip the music a little bit because who knows if there's any copyright issues. So I think I'm just gonna skip ahead. Let's see what we got here. Oh, they're literally playing the full thing. Ooh, so what we got here? I was wondering if because I saw something. This is the full. Wait, is that who I think it is? Wait, I don't know who that is. Who is that? Someone in the comments tell me who that is. Okay, available November 20th, 2025. We were looking for a date. We got it. Wow. Okay, and that's it. That's how they're ending it. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very interesting. Love the idea of it. I know this is an extra super long episode of the show so I hope it's okay. It's over an hour long, but I'm basically gonna end it here. What did you think? I think that there's potential some good accessibility in here by stepping away from the Smash Bros type thing. He's adding his Smash Bros like design ideas and putting it into a cart. I think this probably will be better than Mario Kart just from looking at it. Plus, also, it looks like it could be even accessible. The fact it's just 2 buttons and a thumbstick. That's huge. 2 buttons and a thumbstick. Accessibility, that's huge. That's great. I think this is without intentionally being accessible. I think it's gonna be at least a little bit more accessible than I originally had thought it was gonna be. So very cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. This extra super long episode. Thanks again. I'll probably be back later on today for my either reaction or at least a recap of or my thoughts on opening night live. That'll be later this afternoon. Or I might just sort of save that for tomorrow morning. What the fuck? Oh, it was another video. I was like, what the fuck was that noise? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.